Andrew and Tristan Tate spent years broadcasting a very specific reality, a world built on extreme private wealth, hypermasculinity, and absolute freedom. They sold their audience the idea that they had successfully outmaneuvered the global legal system, what they called the Matrix. With their resources, they projected an image of total invincibility, capable of going anywhere and ignoring standard rules. In 2025, when Romanian courts finally lifted the travel restrictions holding the brothers in Eastern Europe, they immediately relocated to Florida. They treated this move to the United States as their ultimate victory lap. Relocating to Florida meant stepping out from under Romanian travel bans and directly into the primary jurisdiction of a 2003 US-UK treaty. They were now physically accessible to the very warrants they had spent years avoiding. On July 18, 2026, the victory lap abruptly ended. United States Marshals intercepted the brothers in Miami and arrested them on a sealed warrant. Days later, they appeared in a federal courtroom. The tailored suits and cigars were stripped away, replaced by tan jail uniforms, handcuffs, and waist chains. The brothers are in federal custody because of a foreign warrant. The U.S. Marshals are functioning as a high-security holding force for the United Kingdom. In a courtroom, internet influence is irrelevant. The brothers' future now depends entirely on the technical language of a 20-year-old treaty and the final signature of a federal judge. The true legal threat originated nearly 5,000 miles away, in London. The UK Crown Prosecution Service spent years quietly assembling a massive criminal case against them, covering allegations spanning from 2010 to 2017. Looking at these indictment documents, the scale becomes clear. Andrew Tate faces 42 criminal counts, including rape, sex trafficking, and offenses related to indecent images of a child. Tristan Tate faces 17 charges, including sexual assault and arranging trafficking. For years, the brothers were partially insulated from these British warrants by their ongoing legal battles in Romania, where they were indicted in 2022. The UK had agreed to hold off until the Romanian trials concluded. However, by exploiting their restored mobility to flee Eastern Europe for Florida, they stripped away that bureaucratic shield. They placed themselves squarely under the aggressive 2003 US-UK Extradition Treaty. Inside Miami's Federal Detention Center, Andrew attempted to maintain his victim narrative from behind bars. He posted highly dramatized claims about his captivity, describing a 5 by 12-foot cell, solitary confinement, and even a screaming cannibal for a neighbor. The centerpiece of this complaint was a post on X, where he declared he was suffering in total isolation, explicitly stating he had no contact with the outside world. The internet immediately corrected the contradiction. X's community notes feature attached a factual addendum right under his post, pointing out that broadcasting a message to millions of people on social media is, by definition, contact with the outside world. For a decade, they controlled their public image through hyperbole, but the objective reality of the federal prison system simply cannot be spun away. With their online megaphone neutralized, the defense team launched a desperate public relations strategy. They stepped outside the courthouse to frame these severe criminal charges as a political hit job targeting free speech. The strategy was straightforward: leverage the brothers' past vocal support for Donald Trump to trigger a White House intervention and block the extradition entirely. That plan failed immediately on the national stage. When asked if the administration would step in to save the influencers, the White House press secretary delivered a definitive denial. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, the official holding the final authority over extradition approvals, formally distanced the administration as well, stating the judicial process would proceed without their interference. Their accumulated political capital proved worthless. When tested against international sex crime charges, high-level connections evaporated, leaving the brothers entirely isolated within the cold machinery of the justice system. Stripped of their luxury assets and abandoned by their political allies, they are now trapped in a slow, grinding bureaucratic holding pattern. Their immediate future rests completely in the hands of a single U.S. magistrate judge, who holds the total power to decide if they receive bail or simply put on a plane to face trial in the UK. International extradition is immune to internet clout. Two of the world's loudest voices have been reduced to silence, waiting in a concrete cell for a judge's final order.